Hey guys, welcome back to my ASMR channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all of my journals since I was the age of, about 12. I have been journaling consistently since then, even a little bit longer if you count some of the books I had when I was like around 6 years old, which was basically when I learned to read and write. So I've been doing it all my life. But today we're just going to go through my numbered journals. I started numbering them because I'm a little bit weird like that. Let me put this microphone down. Hopefully that'll be close enough to hear everything. I lost my nails, as you can see, because I've been working and they're breaking a lot, so I had to cut them. Not really gonna be able to tap. Hopefully there's some good sounds anyway. This was my first one. I didn't really customize it because I didn't know you could do that back then. But I did put this on. This would later become a thing, okay? So remember that. So yeah, I think it was about, I want to say 12 when I started. Most of these pages I won't be able to show you because they're either embarrassing or highly personal. So I'll just flip through to find any highlights. Also, sometimes I put my address in there, so I definitely won't be showing that. A lot of this is so embarrassing. We all do weird stuff when we're 12, right? Okay, it's about to get real. This is the type of stuff that went through my head. As you can see, I was very original. I wrote song, just in case you couldn't tell. I didn't know how to write music at the time, so I would just put the piano notes that I was hitting with my voice. This was a little game that I learned from a math video, and I would play that all the time because my parents forced me to go to church and I didn't like it. I lived in the South at the time. That was an experience. So I would sit and draw during church, and I would usually do these or that. The reason why I continue to journal is because I feel like it actually assists my long-term memory. Most people I know, most of my friends, don't seem to remember what they were emotionally going through during their early teenage years, or if they do, it's very fragmented and they'll just remember a day here and there. But I actually, unfortunately in some cases, can remember very clearly. But it's kind of cool, you know? Oh, this is when I started to learn how to play piano. Please excuse my handwriting. I've always had pretty bad handwriting, even though I consider myself good at writing in general, but the look of it is not pretty. But this is when I started to learn what chords were. So I put down the chords, and I had to remember the notes in some of them. Oh god. There's more of that. That one's actually kind of cool. I came up with that myself. This was me pretending I was like a conspiracy theorist. I've connected the dots. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this is... what the heck? Some of these things I haven't looked at in a long time, so it does confuse me. But this is when I started dream journaling. Pretty cool. I still do that to this day. Not consistently. Because most of my dreams are meaningless. If you guys want to see what my art abilities at that age. Wow, so good. She's so pretty. She's got the Katniss braid going on. I'm about to reveal how old I am. But I think during that time, Hunger Games was really popular. So, calculate my age if you desire. Why did I pop off? Reptilian deer. I really hope you can't see these. This is the first song I ever wrote down. Like proper. Ooh, I just lost the page. Great. Sorry about that. Okay. I have to cover someone's name here. It wasn't about this person, but please don't judge me. First song I ever wrote down. Song. Again. Yeah. I remember it fondly because I do. I'm something of a musician myself. No, I'm not that good. I just like to write. I'm just glad that I continued it because it was a really good creative outlet. Yeah, rest is pretty much nonsense. Oh, what's this? Wait, I do remember this. What? That sounds so cool. Oh, this is good. Who would have thought? Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. If you can't tell, I'm an ASMR enjoyer, so I know a good sound when I hear one. Oh God, it's so cringe. I don't know if I can bear it. You know what? I was 12. Okay. Oh, 13 at the time. This is when I turned 13, I can tell. Ew, ew. I can't. That's enough of that. So, I had that one until I was 13. Then I took a little bit of a break. And I got one again when I was 14. Does that look familiar? Does that look familiar? I started to realize that I could customize it a little bit more. So I put this here, which is my thing. I'm already No, guys, this is actually humiliating. I can't. I gotta show you at least something. Okay, so I was a little bit wrong. I actually remember that I did have a notebook in between the last one and this one. My hair looks so bad. But I think I lost it, or it's like in storage somewhere. So I'm gonna show you this page. Those are all the songs that I had at this point. So as you can see, it greatly increased since the last notebook. Let's read a little bit of what was going through my mind. This is my songwriting at the time, my songwriting skills. It's lyrics, okay? It's hard to believe I used to know you. ... But you shut me out even back then. Oh, wow. I want you to know this is the best I can do, but all that I did, it was all for you. I don't remember what situation that was about. If it was a real situation. A lot of the times I just made stuff up. But who doesn't, right? Show you the opposite page. Let's see if I can bend it. I don't want to damage it because, oh god, my art skills were progressing. Anatomy was like not there, but I see what I was going for. I really hate her hair. Like, the style would be cool if I drew it properly, but I don't know what kind of outfit that is. Shoes? Bobbed off. Not gonna lie. Just saying. Don't look like it is, right? I promise it gets better because I got older eventually. That's how time works. I just found out when I hit my Loki phase because I did a drawing of him. Stop. I hate it. Ew. Ew. And I like never used a reference, so it like doesn't look like him at all. I think that's about it for 14-year-old Grace. Let's see 15 and 16-year-old Grace. Now we're talking. This is when I started to become myself. It broke a little. I had to fix it. That's unfortunate. It's chipping. I try to take good care of them. I have them all on a bookshelf. I was really proud of this when I first made it. Ooh, the pages in this one, I remember. They're super nice. was still in my I'm a writer era. So I thought I could write actual books, and it was not successful, but ooh, this is good. Don't read that. Don't read that. No, 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 no. I'm gonna start at the back. Shake it up a little bit. Ooh. This is when I started to actually write poetry, like not just in songs. I would write down rhyming poetry. Sometimes even I would play around with, what do you call that? Freeform poetry. So yeah, it was about 15 turning 16, I think. Yeah. It's kind of good, but I don't know if I can read it. It's like I don't want to embarrass myself. I could probably get as personal as I want with this because no one really views these. It's not like I'm exposing myself to the world. It's like 10 people at most. I actually kind of like this one, but I mean, it's not, of course it's not my best because I was only, I was young. But this is when I started to maybe get a little bit of a style, I guess, for my writing. I think it was supposed to be a song, but I didn't do anything with it. So I set the scene, and it was like two people sitting on a porch at nighttime, and they're like having a drink or something. But I like the line that I wrote at the end. It said, "Your mind is still running, but this is not a race." I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a good metaphor. Ew, more low-key. He still had me. Oh, this is another song that I think I finished later, like after the fact. I think I might have been older when I finished it. I'm gonna read it. It's been 2 years. I should have let you go by now, just like all my fears, but still they remain. I still feel like you're here, but I'm staring at the TV right now, and I know it's not real, but what's real is the pain. Yeah, and it goes on to it sets up the story of a girl who lost someone. They moved away and they never contacted each other again. these weren't sketchbooks or anything. I would sometimes not have any paper with me except for this, and I would have to draw in it. Okay, here's some stuff. So, I would just put little sketches in, kind of like stickers. And yeah, it's very cringe. Because I was like, ooh, this is the edgy one. And this is the soft girl one. And the little ukulele. Because I started learning ukulele. And she's carrying her shoes in a stained glass window. I kind of like that though. Like if I drew it well, that'd be cool. I like this too. I like that. Remember this? Take note. I wish I had nails right now. And then I wrote a little disclaimer. It says, I am not like this. It is a character, and 87.9% of my songs are like this too. Because I didn't want anyone to think if they stole my notebook that I was depressed. Ooh, this was interesting. I was at a sort of transitional period of my life because, you know, as a kid and as a teenager, you're raised a certain way to have the beliefs of your parents. And no offense to any religious people who might be watching, but I was raised very, 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 very Christian. And at the time, I was starting to have my questions and, you know, sort of discovering different ways of life. And I wrote something about being confused about what it means to be a woman. And it asks, to be a woman, must I adhere to all these expectations, marry and have children for the sake of it, not for the choice? Or perhaps I have to let all boundaries burn, cut my hair, blah blah blah, embrace masculinity, basically. And then, yeah, I mean, it goes on, but it was basically just considering, you know, is it the way that I'm taught, or is it what other people say? I think that's a good time to be thinking about those things. 16 or so, you gotta find your own way in life. I wasn't there yet, though. I did not discover. But then again, we're all on a journey, constantly. Also, I numbered all of my pages, so if I see something later, you'll see I actually added a table of contents, but if I see something like, oh, continued on page whatever, I can turn to it, so that's what I'm doing right now. Ooh, here's a song. This was real, by the way. Half a month short of 2 years since I've been in that place. I remember how I spent my best years thinking I was a disgrace. That reveals something about how we're raised. Not everyone, but definitely me. Again, the churches back where I lived were something else. They were very, what do you call that? dramatic, very, I don't know, conservative, traditional. Here's one I wrote about a boy, and not a boy that I liked, a boy who liked me, and I didn't like him back. So the chorus was, "What do you want from me? I'm not your girl." Yeah, the rest of it's like super cringe, if that wasn't cringy enough. Those are the characters from a series of unfortunate events. I hope I'm not like oversharing on the internet. I don't know. I find it nice to share like real stories. I'm not putting too much detail into this, I hope. Because maybe someone can relate. Okay, that's about it. This video is gonna be so long. Oh my gosh. I might have to hurry through some of these. I'll try to focus on my favorite ones. But all of them are my favorites. I was still 16 when I was writing this one. I was 16 for a long time. And it wasn't very sweet. I'm kidding. I did like those years. Those were good. Year. Single year. Oh, here's when I started doing Table of Contents. It's falling out of the book. What the? I just baffle myself sometimes. Yeah, so Table of Contents. Oh, this is also when I started to write an intro. And for me, an intro to a notebook is basically I explain where I'm currently at in life. Just to kind of like ground myself in the moment and think and like reflect on things. So this one was extremely short, just 1 page. But they tend to grow in length. There's some weird stuff. I don't know if I can show that. Ew. Cringe. I wrote the lyrics to an Imagine Dragons song. Enough said. I had to cough, so I stopped. Ooh. Hope I'm not showing anything on the other page. But this is my movie list that I wanted to watch. I think this will be interesting for you guys. What I thought was important back in 2018. So, let me see. Looks like we have Batman vs. Superman, Now You See Me, Now You See Me Too, Star Trek, Romeo and Juliet, Sherlock Gnomes, Sherlock 2, Star Wars episodes. I had not watched Star Wars at that point. Thor, made a breakthrough with songwriting. I wrote something that I was extremely proud of, both musically and lyrically. And it might not sound like much when I read it, but if you hear it, sung with the music, I feel like it is definitely, it conveys emotionally what I wanted it to convey. But it goes like this. Green night, green skies, my green shirt, it lies against my chest. Green lights, green eyes, in this parking lot I think I should get some rest. In the city or in the forest, self-pity and no mourning, as in sunrising morning. I'm still mourning, as in grieving, 'cause I adored it, so glorious green. That's when I designed my next cover, which you will see in a minute. Gotta try to hurry, but I like it. I like looking back. I was getting a little bit of a better grasp on drawing. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of rough now that I see it inverted. But it's passable. Sometimes I would write down quotes, but it was just something that I said. What better place to put it? Oh, this is mine. Here's one of my favorite songs. Still. That's saying something. It's called Alexander. You can actually probably find it on my other channel. I think I put it on there. Yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna go make you look for it. Here's a quote by my friend. Well, I'll be smart by the time I'm 18. I don't know about that. I don't think it works that way. This is a sneak peek into my life. That song Alexander I was telling you about, this was the first draft. Very messy. Got some frickin' oh, I can't say that. I can't be mean. I can't be mean on an ASMR video. Wait, what the heck is that? Yeah, but it's like kind of cute, but it's so, Instagram poetry. I don't want to say too much. Alright, that's enough of that. Next one. I love this cover. This one will go by fast because I barely wrote in it for some reason. Ooh, look at that shine. 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 It looks better in real life, actually. It's cute. I like it. I was still 16 somehow. Table of contents. page sounds good because there's watercolor on it, but I can't really show it to you because it's just something I don't want to put on the internet. This is so nostalgic. This is when I discovered Doctor Who and I drew them. That's actually so cute. I miss that. This was the start of 2019. Before my birthday. So I was still 16. Yeah, and I'm not going to show any of that because that was the first time I had a really big crush on someone. So the entire time I was just writing about that. And, yeah, I'm glad I had that experience. I didn't get to date them. They were older than me, like by a few years. This is one of my favorites. This is when I turned 17 and my transitional period like fully came into existence. If you've ever been 17, you know what I'm saying. I was the dancing queen, young and sweet. Only 17. Table of contents got a little bit more organized. Let's see if I can make some sounds. Tracing, maybe. Should get a pen up in here. I don't see my pens. There's a back of a pencil, I guess. Look at that line. Professional quality. Yeah. We have the A. The intro got to be, let's see, from 1 page long to 13 pages long. The layout of the pages also became a little bit more visually pleasing because I would use different color pens, and I'm not the type of person to like super organize. So I didn't strategically do it because I just write when I want to write, in bed or in the car. But just having different pens at my disposal kind of made it, a little bit more interesting to look at. Because each page is a different color. Here's a song. Never mind. Ooh. Now that's a song. It's deep. I can't show you. You're not gonna get it today. I think I a lot of things are going on here. This is called Sequel, and if you will recall, I read you the song that I wrote that was like, it was called Green or something, and it's a sequel to that, or like a part 2. So it follows the same structure and the same melody. It says a winding road, orange lights, I look up at the murky sky. I had more lyrics here, but I removed them to fit the timing. I flip my gaze upside down, pretending the sky is the ground. Troubled mind, ringing ears, no one escapes alive from here. Dull eyes, slurred speech, my drinking song is on repeat. I didn't drink a freaking drop at that age. I just liked the concept of it. It was more of a metaphor for me for like escapism, I think. On the stage or in the closet. Now, who said that? I told you I was in my transitional period. I'm afraid that I have lost it. Because when I lost you, I lost my confidence. How glorious indeed. Because when I lost you, I lost my confidence. How glorious indeed. And I didn't write the in the closet line intentionally. But later that year, I discovered that I am actually a queer person. And so that fits really well. If you're wondering, I'm asexual. I see more dream journal in here. I'm just realizing I might have to make a part 2. This is taking a long time. This was also my last year doing the theater program that I did. Because I aged out of it, of course, after 17. It was like a children's theater thing for kids and teens. Ooh. I wrote an actual, like, proper long poem with meter and everything. It's called Vampire. It's probably terrible. Let me read it. Yeah, it's so bad. In your eyes there is a fire, though your face is as cold as the statues of saints lining this marble hall. As your footsteps reverberate sharply on the walls, do you envy the feeling of those still with souls? Ivory hands clutch the altar, and then, with no sign in your eyes of emotion behind them, your knees hit the ground, and the stained glass lets light in. You're welcome for my superb, on point British male accent. That was kind of fun. At this time, I would also write articles for myself, like, not articles, what do you call it? Kind of like essays, like for no reason. If I really liked a certain piece of writing or something, I would try to explain my reasons. Yeah, kind of an essay, I don't know. This is a little bit on the subject of blooper. Sorry about that. This is a little bit on that subject of how I discovered that I was ace I call it, because yeah, that's the code word. A lot of people would have feelings for me and I wouldn't have feelings back for them. And I am able to have romantic feelings. That's a different story. I've had crushes on people, of course, but a lot of the time it would be someone liking me and I didn't like them and I didn't know why. So I would write songs about it. I would write songs about it a lot. This one goes like this. I talked to him today. It's been a while, yet he expected just as much, but I didn't pay. I've done some thinking, but I'm quite far from done. I give them too much space. Funny, they seem to give me none. Then say, you're lazy, Grace, or selfish, or crazy, or all the above, because I felt judged by people for, not wanting the relationship with that person. And then the chorus is, but it's alright, that's alright, I guess. And it repeats. Yeah. Oh, this was also when I started writing the letter to my future self. So each year I actually, in my current notebook, I do a reply to this. And it just asks questions about how my life is going, and it described how my life was going at that time. So I could have a little documentation, sort of a response thing, like to engage with it. This is also when I started to write about my journey, sort of departing from Christianity into a more agnostic standpoint, which is where I still am. And I wrote a song about that too. The second verse is, I imagine God sitting drinking tea in his library overlooking the sea. He looks a lot like a guy I saw once on TV, but his eyes are blue-green. If you ask the church, that's idolatry, but everyone sees things differently. So that was basically talking about how in Christianity and in the specific version that I grew up with, you weren't allowed to have your own idea of God. You weren't allowed to picture him in a way that was right for you or comforting for you. But then once I started to let go of those ideas, I thought to myself, why not? Why can't I picture God as a sort of like comforting presence to me personally? I didn't see it as disrespectful anymore, because I started to figure out that no one really knows for sure. At least that's my opinion. So that's that for this one. Oh, I forgot to show you the numbers. This one is volume 7. V7, right there. Let's see how many I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 left. So I'm gonna do one more. And let me see. It's a little less than halfway. I was really proud of this cover. Actually, no, I didn't like it quite so much at first. But then I grew attached to it. The A is a completely different font this time. Now we're entering what I like to call the Dark Ages, because it was 2019 going into 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. No need to describe. Also, I happened to struggle a lot with mental health at this time, probably due to the fact that I no longer, I had a different view of myself entirely, because I was like, there's this thing about me that I didn't know. And also, I was on the fence about being a Christian. So there was a lot of sadness, but there was also a lot of creative development. The table of contents. It's so pretty. Tell me, did I or did I not freaking slay it? Freaking huge table of contents. It goes on for 2 pages. I wrote a song talking about my mental health at the time. It was how it felt to have a panic attack. You know what? I'm too deep in the water now. I've shared enough. So who cares anymore? If you made it this far, you basically know me as a person. So I'm gonna read you the second verse. Imagine dragons circling the highest towers of my mind, chanting in Latin. My golden arrow won't even pierce their sides. Each smoky breath is radioactive. They have gemstones for eyes. My armor and my crown are made of plastic. I doubt that I'll survive. So that was the feeling of when you have a panic attack. It almost feels like something is, well, for lack of a better term, literally attacking you. So I kind of pictured myself in like a castle with flimsy armor on and a pathetic looking crown and weaponry that isn't strong enough to defeat it. I started to write a lot more poetry at this time. That will continue to increase. A lot of journaling, a lot of processing emotions. That's why I love doing this. Because, when I was younger, I didn't have like a ton of friends. I wasn't like super lonely or anything, not all the time, but there were moments when I was like, dang, I need someone to talk to. And I would just write to myself, and I think to some degree that's healthy for having a good relationship with yourself. A lot of people, we're gonna get philosophical. A lot of people dread their alone time, I think, because they don't know the person they're spending time with. You wouldn't feel so lonely if you actually had productive, this is gonna sound like kind of weird, but like conversations with yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking to yourself, you know? It's like you gotta think things through. I think that's how you can stay an empathetic person, because if you understand your own emotions, it's easier to understand the emotions of others. That's just my opinion. Oh, I started to explore other religions. I looked up what is Buddhism, and I wrote notes for myself. The Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, and a lot of it is about identifying suffering and behaviors that lead to suffering, so you can find the right path, basically, which is very beautiful to me. And it was something that I had not encountered the way I was raised, you know, because I thought all religions would sort of be, here's a god and they tell you what to do. But I find Buddhism very beautiful because it's more of a philosophy. And again, I don't know very much about it because I'm not Buddhist myself, but I do respect it a lot. I had another crush, very rare. This one, I also did not date this person. They liked me at the time, I think, but for some reason we just never had a conversation. Oh, it's so cringe. This is a little poetry for them. I cannot seem to catch your eye. I walk in circles, but it's never the right time because everyone else wants a slice. Just go sit back down. Maybe it serves me right. And I guess that's how it goes. If you care, they just won't. It's so bad. I put a quote in here from Edna Mode. I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now. Which, clearly I look back. More poetry, stories, songs. Ooh. Don't read that. It's not like embarrassing or anything. It's just not related. I think it was describing a stranger or something. But this is more of those little math games that I used to do. Not math, like shape games that I used to do when I was younger. You saw those in the first notebook. This is when I entered I am completely obsessed with the movie Knives Out phase. Which is a good movie. It's one of my favorites. And I highly suggest that you watch it, especially considering I think it's about Yeah, January of 2020. It's such a cozy movie. It's so well written. Such a nice mystery. I love mysteries. The characters are just so likable. Even I won't spoil it. This is a little piece of a song that I wrote called Gaze Like a Loaded Gun. And it was just about an idea of a person. It was not a real person that existed. It was more of an archetype that I not created, noticed, I don't know, compiled. In the bridge it goes like this: you make me wonder why I waste my time on any problem that isn't you. You're the question and the answer that determines why I fell in love with the truth and the untruth. And it's about someone who's complicated, good, good-hearted deep down, but also maybe a little dangerous. Maybe you don't know. Here's a little poem. I don't know if it's a poem. It's something. Kind of rhymes. It says, writing with a hotel pen. Where'd you go? You're missing from my mind again. I reach out in the dark and you grab my hand. I'm here, I hear. Thank God, I said. My wrist is getting tired from holding the book. Ooh. It's a song, but it sounds better with music. A lot of these I can't really express unless I sing them. Wait, this is funny. This is a dream that please don't judge me. You know what? People have weird dreams all the time. I documented a dream where, let me go through. I was at a summer camp or something, because I used to go to those. And I was like, oh, I have to go use the bathroom. So, the bathroom was underneath the main building. And it was like made out of screen, so you could see through it. And there was just a toilet in the center of the room, and the floor was dirt. And I was like, dang, people can see me through here, but I really have to use the bathroom. So there I was, and a huge group of teenage girls, like a little younger than me, walked by and were like looking at me through the screen. And one of them said, "Is there a person in there?" And then the other one said, "Yeah, who is that?" And then I like spoke to them. What did I say? I can't remember. Yeah, apparently I couldn't remember what I said, but I was like speaking to them through the screen. Guys, the drawing is so funny. I don't know if I can show it to you. Here, I'm gonna cover the writing. Okay, I'm covering it with one of my drawings. It's giving, in Despicable Me when the kid drew the guy on the toilet like a stick figure. I don't know why that cracks me up. So, those are my only dreams. This is a roller coaster of emotions today. I wrote down all my favorite characters. Sometimes, oh, this is a good technique. This is another reason why you should journal. If you have anxiety, which I do, it's so helpful to make a list of something, anything, something you can engage with to a certain level, but not something that's difficult. So for me, I would either list things that I really enjoy, or like words in a certain category, or here I would do characters, and it would just help me to focus on something else. And there's that final song that I wrote for the person I had a crush on. I don't know. Okay, it goes like this. Do you really have to go so fast? Do you really have to go? Because I didn't really get the chance to say what I wanted to. Do you really have to leave so soon? Trust me, I'm shy, though I speak so loud. Is that how it is for you? I think it kind of calms me down to act like a fool. And could you ever like a fool? That's the first verse. Okay, we've reached the end. Sorry, that was loud. Here's the drawing, by the way, that I showed earlier. I did that today at the library. The library. What am I, British? Yeah, so those are my journals. Well, about half of them. We made it up until early 2020. So, next time, I'll show you the rest. I'll give you a preview. This is the next one we'll look at. Volume 9. Yes. But my voice is actually getting tired, which I didn't think was possible from whispering, but apparently this is a friggin' difficult job. And it's probably midnight or later. Time for me to go to bed. Certainly. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it wasn't too revealing as to who I am as a person. But at the same time, if it is, it is. Maybe you don't care. And maybe you will start journaling yourself after you've seen the profound benefits that it has had on my psyche. No, I'm kidding, but it actually has been. It actually has been helpful. Yeah, it's always good to have a little something to do, a little hobby that no one else has to enjoy.